Tulsa King Season 3, Episode 7 really feels like the moment where the show's momentum starts to slip away again. Sure, there are moments of improvement, and the episode feels more focused than a few earlier ones, but there's still something missing. The pacing, the tone, and even the storytelling all feel a little uneven, as if the series is struggling to find its spark again. This week's episode centers around Dwight Manfredi playing a clever game of manipulation with the Attorney General. He uses the man's gambling weakness to corner him, trying to turn him into a pawn in his bigger fight against Dunmire. On paper, that sounds like the kind of sharp mob drama we expect from Taylor Sheridan and Sylvester Stallone. But in practice, it's starting to feel too clean and predictable. Dwight keeps winning, and after 2.5 seasons, it's not as satisfying anymore because the show doesn't let him sweat. There's no real sense of danger. We also finally see more of Spencer this week, a character who's been floating on the sidelines for far too long. It's nice to see her given more focus, but her new romantic subplot with Cole? It feels unnecessary, like the writers are forcing a connection that no one really asked for. It's the kind of choice that highlights the show's current issue. It's not that Tulsa King has too much going on, but rather that what is happening doesn't have much depth beneath it. Conversations happen, alliances form, and betrayals unfold, but it's all surface level. Even the tone feels off. One of the things that made Tulsa King work early on was its balance between comedy and drama, the dark humor mixed with gritty mob tension. But that balance is gone now. The show swings from serious to silly so abruptly that it's hard to feel immersed. Dwight's confidence, once charming, is starting to come off as flat because he never seems to face real consequences. And sure, we get a few action moments sprinkled in, like Cole's surprise hit attempt at the end of the last episode, but they don't land the way they should. It's starting to feel like the show's tension is all smoke and mirrors. You know Dwight's going to come out on top, no matter what happens, and that predictability makes each episode less engaging. I genuinely thought the introduction of Quiet Ray earlier in the season was going to shake things up, but has practically vanished again. It's like the writers keep setting up big pieces, only to forget about them a few episodes later. That same inconsistency bleeds into the Dunmire storyline too. There's a moment in this episode where it seems like Dunmire might kill his own son, a dark and shocking turn that would have felt in line with his earlier brutality, but instead, the show backs off. Instead, we get a strange, uncomfortable exchange about his son's defective soul, which somehow turns into a weird, misplaced commentary about masculinity. But to be fair, there is a small glimmer of hope for what's ahead. Dunmire ends the episode behind bars, and that twist could finally push the story into more exciting territory. It raises real questions about how long he'll stay locked up, and how that power vacuum might affect Dwight's growing influence in Tulsa. Still, if Dwight somehow manages to use his Attorney General connection to bail Dunmire out or flip the situation to his advantage again, it'll just feel like more of the same. More shortcuts, less genuine tension. At this point, Tulsa King Season 3 feels like it's trying to juggle too many subplots, and the result is a story that's stretched thin. With only a few episodes left before the finale, there's still time to pull things together, maybe bring back that sharp mix of danger and charisma that defined Dwight's world in Season 1. And who knows, maybe Samuel L. Jackson's rumored appearance as the Nola King will finally inject some much-needed life into this show by the finale. What did you think of this episode? Are you still invested in Dwight's story? Or do you feel like Tulsa King has lost its bite? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know whether you think there's still hope for this season or if it's time to call it a wrap for this once promising mob drama.